then alrighty guys, thank you for joining me again back in the workshop. I'm Hunter Wilkins and this is Father and Forge, and so today what we're working on, this has been a really long drawn out project, but I'm working on this here little knife and it's coming along, but along the way this thing has fought me at every single opportunity and I've just now got it to somewhat acceptable. But the problem is this is going to be my giveaway knife for my 400 followers on Instagram. So I've been like really busting my butt trying to get it done, and I keep running into these little issues here and there and keep having to go back and try to fix things. And that's basically it. This is going to be the giveaway knife for my 400 followers on Instagram. I'm already late for that, so I was supposed to get this done like last week, but that's neither here nor there. So this is going to be a short video. We're just going to do a quick fit up of the handle and everything, and we'll go from there. Okay, now that that's pretty much done, what I'm going to do is do basically a mock fit up with the blade in the scales, and I'm just going to use some weak glue, like just some like Elmer's white glue, just to kind of hold it together temporarily. And I'll do just some like real rough profiling of the scales. What this will do is allows me to take them back off afterwards and fine tune, and then I can put them back on when I epoxy everything and finish everything up. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so now I've got alright, I've got a nice close fit to the spine all the way around. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pins back out, take the scales back off, and I'm going to grind in my however I want this to transition into the handle here. So I'm going to bring this down kind of at an angle. I'm going to leave this one kind of rounded. I really like faceted handles, but for this build I kind of want to go a little bit more round. I might leave a few angles, keep it kind of octagonal, but definitely gonna kind of round the transition a little bit more than I usually would, but yeah. Alright, so here's where we're at. I'm actually at a pretty good point. I've got it brought down a little bit more. I have to touch that up, but I'm at a safe place now where I think I can go ahead and set the epoxy and we'll be okay. I can get close enough up in here. I'm gonna leave these kind of thick, so I should be able to get close enough to file or sand it down exactly how I want it. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this like this. We're gonna epoxy it and then we'll get back to work. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna give you some quick tips about doing your fit up with epoxy and how I do it, just so that I don't have any complications. It's definitely something that if you make a mistake, it can be kind of scary, especially if you're using like faster setting epoxy. I tried, the fastest I ever used is 5 minute. I try not to use anything faster than that because it's too stressful. So because you screw up, something doesn't fit right, and then you're fumbling with it trying to get everything squished together before it cures, or not cures, but sets, and if you miss that window of opportunity, then everything can be all screwed up. So the biggest thing I can say is preparation. So prep your area. So I have everything laid out already. I've got my first piece I'm going to epoxy right in the middle of my work area. It's ready to go. I've got this board up here with some duct tape on it. That's what I mix my epoxy on. It doesn't really stick to the duct tape, and I can just peel that off. It's super cheap duct tape. It's not anything crazy. Just peel it off, throw it away. Done deal. I use just some cheap like metal knives. I grind them off every now and then I'll just use that to smear my epoxy on. You can use popsicle sticks, whatever, anything cheap and disposable. I just happen to have a pack of these cheap little knives for some other stuff, so I just use these, just clean them up as I go. So basically that, and pre-fit everything as well. So put your scales on. Even if you didn't pre-grind them like I did, put the scales on, put the pins in, make sure it all fits smoothly, and you can do this in a reasonable amount of time. If you're using C-clamps, get them all adjusted to what you need. If you're using regular spring clamps, you don't really have to worry about that, but these kind of clamps, I always pre-adjust them to exactly how I'm going to need them to fit. That way I just pop them on, quick tighten. I can put I use 3 usually for handles. I put all 3 on and tighten them up individually. So that's pretty much how I do that. I've never really had much of an issue doing it. Like, I just make sure everything fits nicely. So basically we're making a little PB&J sandwich here. I'm just gonna epoxy pins, throw a little epoxy around the pins, slide knife down, flip this over. I always try to orient this to where all I have to do is grab it, flip it, push it down. So that's exactly how I have that oriented there. Basically we're golden. And then just clamp it up and let it cure, or let it set, not cure. I apologize. Cure takes a much longer time. So that's that. We're gonna epoxy this thing. All right, we're gonna do this, but one last thing before I do it, I want to show you something. So this is your typical store-bought 5-minute epoxy. Don't use that. Throw that crap away. It's okay for starting out, but really it's inconsistent. You don't get the proper mix of hardener and resin every time. So the best thing to do is buy yourself a 2-part system such as this. This was relatively inexpensive. Well, it was pretty inexpensive, I'll say that. And it was available on Amazon. So you can get this anywhere. You can get 2 parts at certain hardware stores as well. It gives you a lot more control and a lot more consistency in your fit-ups. So definitely the way to go. I will never go back, trust me. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and mix some on my little mixing board there, and we're gonna go ahead and squish this all together. Try to get a nice consistent mixture. Throw a little bit of epoxy on them too, just for fair measure. This guy on. You can wear gloves for this too. I have in other videos I've literally almost licked my finger. Alright, let's put one clamp right on the butt here. Check for gapping. So now we're just gonna, this is ugly. It's an ugly setup, but we're gonna let it cure. Okay, so made this bottle opener in the style that I saw from the guy on Instagram. I'll post on Instagram, I'll post this on there and give him credit for the inspiration for the design. But basically you fold this end over. He did little skulls on his. I was going for like a little demon or a ram head, but I cut it way too short. Didn't cut these horns long enough, so I ended up just making a little dog face. So it's a tiny little dog head on a big bottle opener. Alright, so this is where we're at. We're at about a 300 on the handle. So I'm going to take that up a little bit more, but it's coming together. And at this point I want to take this bandage off and let's take a look at this thing. We'll clean up anything we have to. Alright, so here's where we're at right now. This is basically it's a little Saks hybrid mini chef, we'll call it. It's a real short handle, but you're gonna grip it up in here anyway when you're chopping stuff. So that's that. I'm gonna take some better pictures and put them on Instagram as well. But this is gonna be for my 400 follower giveaway post. So I'm gonna take that up and grit just a little bit more. Nice little sparkles in there too. It's nice. I like these scales. These are from Exotic Blanks as well. I like this blade overall, and I think it's a good one to to do a little giveaway on. This one, like I said, this one fought me from day one. I've been working on this thing for like a week and a half, almost, basically. Not every day, of course, but in between, working at my regular job, which we opened back up, and trying to make time to work on this, I've been cracking at it every so often for like a week and a half. I'm almost finished. I just got to do a few final touches and we'll be done with it. But for now, that's going to be the end of this video. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. There'll definitely be more to come. Please like and subscribe. I can't tell you how much that means to me. That's also going to be part of the giveaway. So if you want to be entered in the giveaway for this knife, follow me on Instagram. Share the post that I'm going to put on Instagram, and I'll give it like a hashtag that you need to use. And subscribe to me on this channel, and you will be entered to win this knife for free. This little sexy little chef hybrid thing, which I think it turned out pretty cool. So that's that. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.